Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and it's been a few weeks since we've been able to work on this project. We had turkey processing, we processed our egg layers, that took up 2 weekends, and then last weekend it was raining, so we started working on the metal workbench thing. So we'll get back to that metal workbench at some point, but we need to get going on this grading because if you see the way I'm dressed, it's temperature's dropping. I woke up this morning and came out and it was 29 degrees Fahrenheit, so we got to get going before the ground freezes too much so we can get the grading done around the barn, the pad done for the new garage, and get the garage built. So let's get started. Before we get to any grading, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the set of stakes that we're not going to use. We decided to go with the white layout versus the orange layout because the white layout, the door will end up facing the driveway, and on the orange layout, the garage door would end up facing kind of where the case tractor is right now. And I think the white layout would be a little more usable, getting stuff in and out off the driveway versus trying to get it in sideways. However, the back of the garage is going to be up in the hill, covering the swale we already graded. So we'll end up bringing a lot of dirt in, filling in that swale, and kind of trying to level the pad. And then we'll end up cutting a little swale in between the garage and the barn to try to make the water flow through there. So before I head over to the other side of the barn, I'm going to take a couple minutes and I'm just going to smooth out this edge here from when I graded this swale in. The box blade kind of left a sharp edge where I was grading up next to the barn. I just want to feather that back and make it a little more of a gradual slope. So I think that side of the grading project's good for now. We'll touch it up a little more once we get the garage pad done, and hopefully before snow and frost hit. If that doesn't happen, well then we can't do it. We need to tackle this side of the project now. This is the Gator side of the barn, or the back side of the barn, and if you can tell, it drops down quite a bit. So we need to pull the gravel off of here, get the outside here to below the garage level, and grade a swale through to get the water to run out that way from coming down the hill. So let's get set up and see if we can't strip some gravel with a box blade. box blade did a nice job of breaking up the top surface with the scarifiers, and it did pretty good at grabbing the gravel and pulling it out too. However, it was a little slow. Once I got the top layer broken up, it actually went a lot easier to use the loader. It went a lot quicker, even though it still took me a really long time to get all that gravel moved out of the way. I think it took me about 2 hours to move all that gravel. It probably looks like I'm leaving a lot of gravel behind, and I don't necessarily want to say that's on purpose, but there is a reason I'm doing that. I don't want to have too much dirt in my gravel that I'm going to put down on my driveway surface. Having a little bit of gravel in the dirt that I'm going to put in the pad for the temporary garage is not a big deal. It'll act more as a binder. But I really don't want that dirt in my nice driveway surface, so I'm being very careful not to scrape up too much dirt. So with how long it took me to scrape all the gravel out with the tractor and move it, I didn't think I had enough time left in the day to move all the dirt I needed to move, especially with the weather we have coming in this next week. We got real cold weather. There's some days that it's going to be a high of 24 degrees Fahrenheit. We got snow coming in a couple days. So we decided that we were going to rent something to hopefully make this dirt moving go a little bit faster. This is not the first time I've rented this machine, and every time I've rented this machine, I struggle with this trailer. I do not like this trailer at all. I think it's too small for its application, and the ramps are spring-loaded, so they don't go all the way down. They always stay up like that a little bit, and it lifts the back of the truck up too much, and you have to drive up on the ramp to get the ramps to slide down, and it's just not really the best situation. At this point, I'm not overly concerned about getting a good pitch or a good grade. Right now, I'm really just concentrating on getting dirt moved so that the outside of the barn is lower than the inside of the barn. So at least if it puddles outside the barn and doesn't run in and freeze my door shut. And if the ground should freeze before I can do my finished grading and get the good slope, at least it'll keep everything out of the barn, and I can always do the final grading in spring when the ground thaws back out. Until now, these barn doors have been really hard to open because the grade is so high, and we've never been able to get it all the way open because of the dirt on the backside. So now that we got all the dirt moved, that door moves so easy. It just glides. In fact, it glides so well, and Dana wasn't used to it, that she actually pushed the door right off the track. So I ended up having to put it back on when I got home from work. This Gator really impresses me with what it can do. It's one of the best things we bought for the farm. I'm so glad we bought it. It definitely put in its work today. We were putting 3 scoops of dirt in that thing. It's got hydraulic lift up to 1,000 pounds. And we tested it and it held up and it worked well. So really happy about that. After moving the pile of dirt, it didn't look like I got this end close to the excavator low enough, so I went back in for a second pass to scrape out a little more dirt and make it a little bit lower just to make sure that I can get my final pitch later. Last thing I want to try to get done before I have to bring the excavator back is try to knock down these piles that Dana brought over with the Gator to the garage pad. It'll be a lot easier to do with the excavator and the blade. My tractor will do it and would do a fine job, but the track machine in this instance is just quicker. So that wasn't really what we had planned for today, was it?
Not on my agenda. I was planning to stay inside with Cadence and stay warm, and we're doing Christmas stuff already. So, was not planning to be outside in the cold.
Yeah. But I think I learned one thing today. We need to get one of these.
No.
No.
No. Not on this property. This property is too small to invest in this equipment. So we're not shopping for property. Not yet. Later on.
All right. Well, there's a lot more grading to do, and I can get a lot nicer grading with an excavator. I don't have time. My rental's just about up on it, so I got to get this thing loaded and back. So we'll end up having to do the rest of it with the tractor on a different day because we're already starting to lose daylight. But hopefully you guys found this interesting. If you did, please like it. We'd really appreciate it. Also consider subscribing. Obviously we have a lot more dirt work to do. We got a lot done today, a lot more than I had anticipated getting done, but with the weather turning so quickly, I want to make sure I get this stuff done this year yet. So we got a lot of that to do, so consider subscribing so you don't miss it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.